Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Can I be real for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better, you really can do it, but nobody is going to do it for you. And nobody has to, because you can do it if you have the right tools and a community that cares about helping you get results. And that's us, Beachbody. It's as convenient as your TV or laptop, but you need to decide that you're worth it. Let us help you succeed. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.
Some people celebrate the holidays, but you dominate the holidays. You deck the halls, the mantle, and anything else that will stand still. You deserve a bold cold brew that's as festive as you. Topped with creamy cookie butter cold foam, covered in cookie butter crumbles, and perfectly pairable with our new cookie butter donut, Dunkin's Cookie Butter Cold Brew is a delicious match for your decked out domination. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
You are now listening to the hottest true crime podcast in the streets.
Well, hello there. Welcome to another Tales from the Hood minisode. Fran, hello. Hey, Fran is here.
What's up?
So, Fran, I think I want to do some kind of drop or something. I'm gonna get in the Beat Laboratory.
Okay.
Do some kind of Tales from the Hood. I don't know, something.
You mean like to start the show off, or like
no? I think I still want to do our music, but
Okay.
then you're like, when I go like Tales from the Hood, just hit something like either something evil like a or like a Maybach Music Rick Rocks type of thing, something like that. Tales from the Hood, something like that.
For what though? I mean, like, what is
just
it?
like just to let people just to differentiate, just to be like we have things we do here that we don't do on the
Got
regular.
you. Okay, got you. All right.
Just to make this stand alone a little bit more.
I agree with
So
that.
I'm thinking about getting the lab, a little bit. But anyway, we're not here to waste time, friend. You know what we do here. We read amazing emails from amazing listeners from all over the world. And this has been so fun. And I'm ready to dive right in. But before we dive in, we have a little bit of a correction or a follow-up from a listener who sent in an email.
Okay.
They just kind of wanted to jump back in and go, hey, guys, just wanted to clear some things up, right?
All right.
So this is from Carla. Carla, our Canadian listener whose neighbor was from hell.
Oh, okay.
Literally wanking his shit, stalking people, spying on people.
Yes.
That guy. Boom. Here we go. So the follow-up's from Carla. She says, hey, Alvin and Fran, just following up on my email to clarify. 1, when I said nanny, I meant my grandmother. In Eastern Canada, it's common to call your grandma nanny. We didn't have money for childcare. Sorry for the confusion. 2, also, I didn't have like a pool. We had a little one that you set up every summer for the kids to cool off in type of thing. So nah, y'all don't want to come and swim in that. Because I made a joke about wearing a Speedo and swimming in her pool because she said her nanny. We had it all mixed up. Canadian slang. Anyway.
Wait, what did we say it was?
Well, she said a pool. The guy was
nanny. What did we?
I thought I made a joke like, ooh, a nanny. Oh, excuse me. Like a nanny,
okay.
as if, she had a nanny, like a nanny that babysits or something.
Got you, yeah.
Like an au pair.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Great movie, by the way. And the au pair too. So just wanted to clarify, since I mentioned our family not having a lot of money, I didn't want to be like, we were a poor family and then mention having a nanny. Like we hired in-home staff and a pool.
Judge-free zone.
Judgment-free zone. But at the time, I do remember her saying, like, we didn't, we didn't spending money we didn't have on a security system. And then she was like, my nanny and my pool. So judgment-free zone. But I did think that. I was like, what's a lot of money to this person? Because a nanny and a pool, So yeah, I'm glad she did clarify for me, because that's what I thought. I was like, so you didn't have money for a security system, but you have a nanny and a pool. Interesting. Canada's cool. So anyway, thanks again for reading my story. I wish I had reports to share, but Canada keeps that shit locked down a lot more than the U.S. does, and I'd be surprised if the cops here actually did any formal paperwork. They kind of suck. But if Melvin gets into any more crazy stuff, I'll let you know. P.S. In Canada, to chirp someone means to hurl insults their way. So saying Melvin was chirping the guy means that he was trying to get him riled up with slurs and gross innuendos. I think it comes from hockey guys chirping at each other on the ice to throw the other team off their game. Have a good one, Carla. Carla, you do the same. And thanks for the follow-up.
That sounds whack, though. It doesn't sound tough at all.
Chirping?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you chirping at me? To me.
Chirping at me, bro? You chirping?
Yeah, you chirping at me, bro? Chirp at me, bro. That doesn't
like
work.
that.
I don't like that at all. So we're going to move on. So this, this email's from a listener who I'm not going to say her name until I know that it says I can. Anyway, hi, Alvin and Fran and fellow listeners. Moin, moin. Moin, moin. I don't.
Moin, moin to you too, I guess.
Yeah, moin, moin to you back. Ni hoi minoi. She's talking like Doodle Bob over here.
Yeah.
So I guess ni hoi minoi to you back as well.
Is this like Japanese? Or?
No, I think it's German.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
I have 2 tales of murder to share Yep, that's why you should just read instead of just talking. I have 2 tales to share all the way from Germany. Well, a Guten Tag and a Wiedersehen. I learned some things while I was over there. Anyway, the first one is about a young woman. Yekaterina Baumann, who went missing in the town I live in, of Bremerhaven. Her photo was on missing posters all over my neighborhood, and my friends and I talk about how it was sad it was that we hoped she would be found. She was a very beautiful young mom who left behind a toddler child. Unfortunately, a few weeks later, most of her body was found dumped in a suitcase on the main river promenade, or promenade, whichever you know.
Wow.
It was a super tragic day, and a small memorial popped up to mark the place where she was found. It's tragic because the story is so common. Yekaterina had fled twice to a woman's shelter during her marriage and was attempting to leave her husband with her daughter and return to Russia. Her daughter was sent back to Russia to be with Yekaterina's family, but that now means that none of her family here in Germany has contact because of the war between the Ukraine and Russia. What I learned shortly after that was that a woman at my job who runs a program to keep office workers active was Yekaterina's mother-in-law. Yes, a woman at my work that helps old people exercise apparently also raised a man who chose to cut up his wife. Woo, okay, that was heavy. How about a lighthearted murder story? I'd like to see how you... That's an interesting phrase there. Let's see what that means. So, I have an axolotl. Photos attached. It's some kind of a fish.
She have one.
Yeah, AXOLOTL. So she has an axolotl. I don't really know if I'm saying that right. Axolotl? Sure. It's 15 centimeters or 6 inches long. Well, Vasquez is a whole foot-long sub. Oh.
What?
Oh, that's the name of her animal.
Vasquez?
His name's Vasquez, and he's a foot long.
He's a foot long.
She loves to eat, sit around, and rip up plants that I've carefully curated for her aquarium.
Maybe she doesn't like it.
Yeah, she wants to decorate her own space.
Odd looking fish.
Yeah,
I've never seen one like that.
Yeah, scary. It's got these little things on the sides. It's an odd one for sure. The professor who gave them to me said they eat 4 pellets every day. Okay, no worries on it. Well, by the 3rd day, Vasquez was done with what she obviously considered starvation rations and started looking around the tank for snacks. When I woke up after only 4 days of owning these creatures, I found Vasquez sitting calmly in the front of the tank and Hicks floating sideways in the back. Arm gone, literally a bite mark out of its tail.
Hicks
was the other one. Hicks and Vasquez.
Shit.
Sounds like a detective squad. Hicks and Vasquez. I'm getting too old for this shit, Vasquez. And then Hicks, slides across the hood of the car. Also, the skin was missing. Horrifying.
Lethal Weapon?
Yeah, it was a Lethal Weapon reference.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, Hicks did not survive, but Vasquez, the Vanquisher, I like that. Vasquez, the Vanquisher, got as much food as she wanted from then on. Of course, there was never a trial, so we need to add allegedly, but I think we all know how Hicks was murdered. Thank you both for such
that.
Yeah, that was good. Good little turn of phrase. Thank you both also for such an entertaining and informative show. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, thank you for the compliment. Your show really gives people a chance to hear voices that don't get the kind of platform that they deserve. I also really admire y'all's integrity and growth. Oh, thanks.
Oh, thanks.
Shower us with compliments, why don't you? Yeah, thank you.
Flattered.
Yeah, I feel like she's setting us up to feed us to our fish. Can't wait for the next episode.
I'm not scared of Vasquez, by the way.
Oh, I'll fry that thing up.
Yeah.
No, I'll fry the thing
I will
up, batter it.
Absolutely.
Batter it up, fry it up. Yeah. Side to late. What was it? Fried died late to the side.
Gravy, beans, and gravy. I ain't too lazy. Yeah.
She says, tus, TSCHU with an umlaut, SS. So like shus, something like goodbye or something, or cheers. Shus, and the person's name. I don't know if they want me to say. So anyway, P.S. Nachbarschaft is German for neighborhood. I don't know if I said that. I don't know if I read that in there, but thank you for that. Nachbarschaft. All their words are very aggressive. So thank you so much for that person. I don't, I'm sorry if you wanted me to say your name, but you know who you are. You have the fish and moin moin and, Germany.
Wait, is that a picture of the fish? It was when she found it in the back?
No, this is the fish it's just by itself. It has legs too, by the way. I didn't mention that part. It has legs. Terrifying. I've never seen that in my life.
I've never seen it.
That might be indigenous only to Germany. This is a terrifying.
Is that saltwater?
Good person. Please let us know if this is a saltwater tank or a freshwater tank. I can't tell from here. I don't see any kind of pipes and things, so I'm not sure. If that's a freshwater fish, that's terrifying. You can just see that in the creek.
Yeah.
Come running out of the water.
That walks.
Yeah, that's terrifying. I don't like that. We have an audio submission, friend. I love these. Keep them coming. This is from a listener, longtime listener, Laura W.
She's not driving anything, right? Like
no, I gave this a quick once over, and I wanted to be still surprised and listen to it with you.
Okay.
But the audio is a lot more clear. She's not in an airplane hangar or on a rocket ship or anything like that. So.
So I want to tell you, I'm
love
about
you
to
guys
skydive. She's like skydiving. It's wind blowing.
So when I was living in Chicago. All right, here we go.
Hi, Alvin and Fran. This is Laura from Charlotte, North Carolina. I am a longtime listener and fellow eggnog lover.
Shout out.
This story kind of spans across 3 decades for me, so just be patient, and it is going to age me. I am in my early 50s, but it's still an interesting ride. Okay. It starts in the mid-1980s. I'm in my 7th grade journalism class. I meet one of my best friends in the world, and one of the things we bond over is the fact that we...
Did you say 7th grade?
Yes.
Journalism class?
Yeah, that's crazy. 7th grade. Y'all were learning journalism in the 7th grade? I don't even, what class was I taking? Recorder class? I was taking like how to learn how to play the recorder.
Hot cross buns?
Yeah, shit. Journalism.
Wow,
Okay. Shout out to you, Laura. Somebody went to a nice school.
Would talk shit to this teacher. We were 2 smart-ass little girls, and we were 13, so that's what we did. But she gave as good as she got, and we're going to call her Miss J just for reference purposes. Miss J gave as good as she got. And one of the things that she used to say to my friend and tease her about, even though we knew it was not true, before I say this, it's not true. And remember, it's the mid-1980s. They didn't give a fuck what they said to kids. Okay. So she used to tease my friend and tell her, well, I'm quote unquote friends with your daddy. Now, even in 7th grade, we knew what she meant. She was insinuating that she was having an affair with a student's father.
Okay, Miss J.
But it was wildly inappropriate, and we know it wasn't true because, my best friend's father lived on the West Coast at the time. And the other part was she was just, like, extremely pregnant at the time as well. Like, she could give birth any day. But, they went back and forth with the teasing, and that's how it went. Now, keep that little tidbit in mind. Keep in mind...
It's funny, that joke doesn't work the other way around, because I would have got expelled from school if some teacher was like, I know your mama.
Yeah.
I'm like, what'd you say, man? Yeah. That joke doesn't, I don't think it works the other way. It's an inappropriate joke, Miss J. Miss J, that's an inappropriate joke, but funny. Gotta shut a kid up. You're ruining my home life? You're ruining my parents' marriage? Joke's over. Anyway, back to it.
That Miss J used to tease one of her students about having an affair with her father. All right, fast forward to the late 90s. I had moved to Maryland by that time, but I was back home in Charlotte visiting my parents. And there was a news story. And I didn't catch the news story, but I did catch the picture that accompanied the news story. And I remember looking at the picture and I'm going, she looks familiar, but I couldn't place it immediately. So I kind of slid it to the side of my mind and went on about my day. It was later that I realized, wait a minute, that was Miss J, my journalism teacher. I wonder why she was on TV. Now remember, this was the late 90s, so there was no Google. The internet was just becoming a big thing. I had no idea how to look this up on the internet. I don't even know if the news channel had, a web page. So like, that was it. I was like, oh, it was Miss J. I wonder why she was on TV. And I kind of left it at that. Fast forward another 10 years or so, I have moved back to Charlotte permanently. And I am at home watching reruns of old true crime shows. 2020, Dateline, 48 Hours, On the Case with Paula Zahn. But I think this one was a show called American Justice. It's one of my favorites. And I have been trying to find this episode and I cannot find it. I've been looking for it for years. And one of the reasons I can't find it is because I can't remember all of the players' names. So here we go. This particular episode focused on a businessman and his wife. His wife was in education and she befriended another woman who was in education as well. And they became friends. And then that woman introduced the husband into this friend group. And so you have these two couples that become fast friends. They start hanging out. Their kids play together, things like that. They become really close. And one of the things they did was, I guess when they got together and partied a little bit, they did some casual drugs. I do remember the drug use was not that big of a deal, but it's important to the story. So it turns out though that the businessman and the wife from the other couple, they like to do drugs a little bit more than their respective spouses. So they start doing drugs together and in turn they start having an affair. And this is where I realize who this other woman is and who I'm looking at. It is once again on my TV screen, Miss J, my journalism teacher. So my ears perk up because the incident 10 years ago automatically pops in my mind like, oh my God, is this what the news was talking about? So the story goes that the wife finds out about the affair and she confronts the businessman and Miss J. And I cannot remember the businessman's name. Sorry. If I could, this would make life a lot easier, but so the wife confronts the businessman and Miss J. They decide to all pile in the wife's van one day and they're going to go somewhere secluded and hash it out. All right. So they end up parking at the Atlanta airport to have this talk. A week goes by and the van is still at the Atlanta airport. And so the airport personnel go out there, they look in, they see something suspicious, they call the police. The police come out, they open the van, and inside the back of the van is the body of my journalism teacher, Miss J. But not far from the van, outside in a wooded area, is another body, and it is the body of the wife of the businessman. So you've got these two, dead women. Shit. The police process the scene, and they start the investigation. They quickly rule out Miss J's husband. And so, of course, they turn to the businessman. Now, at first, he comes up with some crazy alibi to try to keep him away from the murder scene. But apparently, around his wife's body, there was some type of definitive evidence that he was definitely there. I think he dropped his glasses or something like that. So when the police confronted him with this evidence, he finally gave up the story. And he says, yeah, my wife found out. We end up in her van. We all go out to the airport. We're talking. My wife and Miss J get into an argument and my wife kills Miss J. Okay. So then he says that he and his wife end up outside of the van and they start arguing. It gets physical and he ends up killing his wife.
I think you did this story.
Me?
I think you did this story, but it's been a while. The thing about the van being parked at the airport, I feel like that there was like something about like near a housing development that wasn't finished. This sounds familiar. I could be wrong, but this sounds very familiar. All of these details sound very familiar. Anyway, we'll continue. Wow. Juicy.
So he's put on trial and he is convicted for murder, but he's only convicted for the murder of his wife. Because Miss J's body was found inside the van, any DNA from the wife or from the businessman can be explained away because the wife owned the van and this is the businessman's wife. So you can assume that he's been in the van as well. I think everybody's prints may have been on the murder weapon, whatever it may be. So that didn't tie anyone to her murder as well. So to this day, no one has ever been convicted of her murder. And for me, the irony was this woman who used to tease a 7th grade student by saying she was having an affair with her daddy ended up being murdered because she was having an affair with someone else's husband. Was it foreshadowing? I don't know, but that little tidbit always blew my mind. And that is my tale from the hood. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope to hear it on the podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it. It's my favorite thing every Monday morning. Talk to you later, guys.
That's how you do that.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do that. That's how, listen, let me get real for a second. If you want to send in audio submissions to this podcast, that's how you do that. You follow the blueprint of one Laura W. Cause that's how you drop bars. That's how you drop heat. That's story structure. Okay? That's misdirection. That's taking a real life incident, using firsthand information, taking it back around and applying it to a great story. I don't want to hear any other audio submissions if they're not coming in like that. I'm going to keep it a buck with you, Fran. Laura's the best storyteller in the game. We just gonna keep it at that. We gonna keep it simple like that. We're gonna move on. Affirmative Murder is brought to you by Helix Sleep. Look, I thought I was getting fine sleep. Just fine sleep, okay? But ever since I got this Helix mattress, I realized I've been depriving myself of a good night's sleep for a long time. And now, after having a Helix mattress for about 2 months now, I realize sleeping through the night is not abnormal. And maybe it's just your mattress. And the coolest part about Helix Sleep is the mattresses are tailored to you. I took a Helix Sleep quiz. I got matched with the Helix Dawn because I like to sleep on my stomach and I like a firm mattress. 2 things kings like. And when I tell you I threw my old mattress out with extreme prejudice, it is not an understatement. I kept both mattresses just in case I didn't like the Helix mattress. One night of sleep on the Helix mattress, I threw my old mattress out of the window. Was that just an easier way to get it down the flight of steps? Yes, but I did it out of anger as well. And not only is the mattress the best one I've slept on, but the setup is fast and super easy. You just unbox the mattress and it just inflates kind of. And all of a sudden it's just a beautiful mattress ready to go. Perfectly tailored to how your sleep needs are. If you don't want to take my word for it, which why wouldn't you? There are over 12,000 5-star reviews to look through. Helix Sleep has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ magazine and Wired magazine. It's even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattresses and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helix.com/AFFM. Once again, that's helixsleep.com/AFFM. And by supporting Helix, you're supporting the podcast. So if a good, full night's sleep is something that eludes you, go purchase your Helix and thank me later for the best night's sleep of your life. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Affirmative Murder is brought to you by the Higher Dose Portable Infrared Sauna Blanket. This product from Higher Dose is making it possible for you to get that hot and euphoric experience from a sauna from anywhere. All you need to do is lay down in the blanket, turn up the heat, and sweat it out. All the benefits of those large, expensive saunas, but requiring a much smaller budget and much less space. Just plug it in and begin. Portable, easy to use, sweat it out whenever, wherever. I shared my experience about float tanks with you guys last year, but I've really been going down a very holistic journey as of late and learning about sweating out the impurities. And I was fortunate enough for Higher Dose to send me over one of their infrared sauna blankets, and I've been trying it out, and it is amazing. I just put on some Father John Misty, turn that blanket up, and get loopy and delirious in the best way and sweat it out on my living room floor. Saunas are great for boosting circulation, detoxing, burning calories, muscle recovery. It activates glowing skin and improves your mood. And I can attest to most of these. After a long session at the gym and you get that achy, sore feeling, you come home, lay down in the sauna blanket, and it really just loosens you up. And as an added benefit, you burn a few extra calories just laying there doing nothing. Higher Dose offers payment plans starting as low as $50 a month. They have a 30-day money-back guarantee. And I can personally guarantee you, if you've ever been to a sauna and you enjoy that feeling, you won't be giving this blanket back. But don't just listen to me rave about how much I love my blanket. You need to get your own today at higherdose.com. You can use the promo code AMP at checkout to save 15% off. That's Higher Dose, HIGHERDOSE.com, promo code AMP, or just go to higherdose.com/AMP to save 15% off. All right, back to the show.
Who are you? I'm you, from the future. What do you want? I want to tell you about Dave. Dave has your future money. Spend it on whatever you need. With extra cash from Dave, you can get up to $500 instantly with no interest and no credit check. Download the Dave app from the App Store right now. That's DAVE. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve. Member FDIC.
That was really good, man. That was a crazy story.
Yeah.
Man, twists. I thought the joke was inappropriate. I don't know if I want a teacher making jokes about sleeping with my parents. But then it turns out she really was about that life. She said, no, I'm Mr. Steal Your Man. I'm Mrs. Steal Your Man.
Yeah, that's what she does.
That's what she does. Wow. Man. Great story. Laura, Miss J. Oh, titillating. Sensual story. Love it. We got one more email and then we're going to get up out of here. This email is from Clara. She says I can use her name. From Clara. The email goes, "Hi, Alvin and Fran. I live in VA and have grown up in various places in Northern Virginia all my life. When my parents first immigrated here from South Korea, we lived in Alexandria, Virginia. Been there. Cool. I like it there. I did not know this until I was an adult, but Alexandria has a rich paranormal history that dates back way to 1749. Here's my personal ghost story from when I was a kid. Probably about 4 or 5 years old.
I thought she was going to say it. A personal story from 1749.
From 1749. I am a ghost from the 17th century. So here's my personal story from probably when I was about 4 or 5 years old, right before I started kindergarten. We lived in an old apartment building on the ground level in Alexandria. I wish I knew the exact building, but my parents also don't remember, and it didn't keep anything old enough that had an address on it so that I could research back on. Anyway, it was a 2-bedroom apartment, and my little brother and I slept on a bunk bed that faced the opposite of the room doorway. Every single night, I would wake up facing the open door that led into the small hallway and see a figure that looked like it was made up of green TV static. Whoa. It had no face, just a figure that looked like it was wearing a military helmet. Oh, God.
Military.
And I could make out something like a gun over its shoulder. It would disappear as it went down the hall and reappear when it reached the end of the hallway where our door was. I would have repeated nightmares where I was outside of our glass sliding doors looking into the apartment, and my mom would be sitting at the dining room table with bad ghosts surrounding her.
What?
And in my dreams, I would bang and bang on the glass doors to try to save her, but she would never hear me. I still remember this dream vividly 34 years later. That's how frequently I would have these nightmares. Every night I saw the military ghost figure. I would stay absolutely still so that the ghost would not know I was awake, and I would squeeze my eyes shut so hard and just pray to fall back asleep quickly. That's when you know you're dealing with some ghostly forces, when you're like, just go to sleep. Like, I'll just go to sleep. I'll just go back to sleep. I don't even want to deal with this. Woo, okay, this is intense.
What if you embrace them, though?
I don't know that the TV static ghost with the military helmet is the Casper of Alexandria. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know if there is a ghost that would look embraceable. Yeah.
Like, hey,
that's a word.
Go walk towards it.
Yeah, like, oh, I died
nice
I died in a skiing accident. I don't have any grudges. This isn't a grudge type of thing. I'm just dead. And I live here. Yeah. Let's see. Yes. I was so scared about this, but never told my parents or my little brother because I didn't want to scare him. We moved shortly before I started kindergarten in Centerville, Virginia, and I never saw the ghost again, and my nightmares completely stopped. So I resolved that it was just something I must have imagined and completely forgot about it. Fast forward to post-college. My brother and I were smoking outside of our parents' rooftop late one night, and I finally decided to tell him about my childhood ghost. As I was saying, I never told you about this, but every night in our old apartment, I would wake up, ... And before I finished my sentence, my brother shouted, "There was a green army ghost that walked up and down our hallway." What the fuck? We both could not believe that we were both so little and too scared to say anything about this ghost. And decades later realized it was not just our imaginations. We think the army ghost might have been protecting us from other bad ghosts, the ones that haunted my nightmares, since it never did anything, but paced the hallways as though guarding something. Maybe ours in my parents' rooms? Anyways, this is why I truly believe in spirits, both good and bad. I love you guys. Your friendship and banter always makes me laugh. Your stories are diverse and interesting, and I hope you guys continue to grow your amazing podcast. P.S. Since I only live 2 hours from Baltimore, I hope to run into you guys someday. Thanks for all you do, Clara. You can use my name, plus I'll probably geek out if you end up reading my story on the pod. Well, go ahead and freak out. You know what I mean, friend? Great song. Clara, thank you so much. That was a fascinating story. I don't know if I would say I particularly am now turned into a believer of ghosts.
So you just think it's an illusion?
Well, it's two people having the same thing. I think it's scary.
It's super funny how they never talked about it
until
years later. It was like, and
he finished her sentence. She didn't even get into it. So that is, listen, it got me a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not in yet. You know, good ghost, bad ghost, all that stuff. She's adding new elements to it. Now this ghost was guarding the room.
Yeah.
Casper, you were right, kind of like a friendly ghost. Maybe a friendly ghost.
Yeah, Casper, man.
She kind of embraced it later on. In hindsight, she embraced it. Before, she was fucking terrified. But then now, as an adult, she's like, maybe it was doing this.
They real, man. They out there. Casper's not, but you know.
The idea that you would say that and you believe in ghosts and not dinosaurs is truly one of the most unhinged and insane things you've ever said. I just want to make that clear.
Okay. It's all facts.
Once again, folks, that email address is affirmativemurder@gmail.com. You got any crazy stories involving ghosts, bad neighbors, true crime, great snacks from cool stores, whatever you want. You got any fun would you rather questions you want to send me and friend? We like doing those sometimes. Send those to affirmativemurder@gmail.com. Yeah, well, we haven't asked for them. Now we've asked for them, so what happens? But you can
or advice.
Or if you need some advice with those we did one of those one time. We got a response back from somebody, but it's fine.
Hey,
we will make sure we preface it with we're not experts. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Next time we'll make sure we're clear in that, and that it's not advice.
It can't be any more clear than
what we've been saying. I let people know that I dropped out. I'm an idiot. Like I don't know what you want me to. Don't listen to me. But if you want unhelpful advice from us that you shouldn't listen to, then please send
advice. Advice that you shouldn't take.
Advice that I'll recommend. Like I'll give it to you, but I'll go, hey, don't use this. Though. If you want that,
to your discretion.
Use it to your discretion. Like that's your business. But I don't think you should listen to us.
Exactly.
But I'll tell you what I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So those can all be sent to affirmativemurder@gmail.com. This is so fun. We enjoy doing this so much. Love the audio submissions. One last time, shout out to Laura. That was fucking amazing work. And until next time.
Always be on the lookout.
See you guys later.
Some people celebrate the holidays, but you dominate the holidays. You deck the halls, the mantle, and anything else that will stand still. You deserve a bold cold brew that's as festive as you. Topped with creamy cookie butter cold foam, covered in cookie butter crumbles, and perfectly pairable with our new cookie butter donut, Dunkin's Cookie Butter Cold Brew is a delicious match for your decked out domination. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Everyone loves buying holiday gifts, but the credit card hangover? Not so much. Well, Old Navy is outdoing even Santa with their prices this season. They have incredible prezzies for everyone on your list, like matching jingle jammies, statement-making coats, and the coziest sweaters. And Old Navy has tons of gifts for under $15, so you can buy yourself a little something too. Sorry, not sorry. So pop by a store or visit oldnavy.com.